Recently, the team's head coach met with the media to discuss several important aspects surrounding the organization during this off-season period. However, the most pressing topic on everyone's mind is who will be the one to step up and take the role of left tackle. Will the team continue with Verderin Lowe in that position, or will they opt to use the fourth pick in the upcoming draft to secure their starter for the job? This decision is crucial, as it will determine who will be responsible for protecting the blind side of a young quarterback, which is no small task. Furthermore, the coach provided some updates on a couple of key players who have been dealing with injuries. One is on the offensive side of the ball, while the other is from the defense. These updates are particularly important at this stage, as the team is gearing up for the upcoming season. A rather interesting situation also surfaced when a player posted on social media asking fans to help him choose his jersey number for this new phase of his career. Fans were encouraged to share their thoughts, and it's clear that many people had strong opinions on the matter. The responses varied, and there is still plenty of discussion around what number would be most fitting. It's a fun little debate, and as the situation develops, more thoughts will likely emerge. However, before diving deeper into that, it's important to focus on the offensive line, particularly the left tackle position, which is currently in flux. Strengthening that area is crucial to ensure stability and protection for the quarterback. Right now, the right side of the line is being reinforced with some new acquisitions, and we already know that one of the players will be staying his role as right guard. But the left tackle spot remains a real concern. The coach mentioned during the press conference that one of the players, who spent most of last season injured, has been placed on the inactive list and needed extra time to recover. Now, he will have the opportunity to compete for the left tackle position. This is an encouraging development, but it's also important to remember that another player will be returning this year. The player who had been injured and who will now have the chance to compete wasn't available for the majority of the previous season. His situation required extended recovery time, but he'll have a chance to prove himself in training camp for the left tackle position. Additionally, the other player who will be returning is another important factor to consider. The player who is coming back, despite having been sidelined for a significant portion of last season, is expected to have an opportunity to compete for the left tackle role. However, the team is still unsure if he will be ready to assume that role from the start. His time off has undoubtedly been challenging, and while his recovery seems to be on track, his potential to start right away remains uncertain. The situation with both of these players raises several questions. Would you be comfortable seeing these two players fight for the starting left tackle spot? Personally, I wouldn't feel at ease with that idea. One of them is a solid backup and has improved over the years, but he is not a true starter. He hasn't been pursued by other teams in the league, which raises the question of why settle for him. As for the other player, he remains an unknown. He struggled with injuries last season, and we haven't had the chance to fully evaluate his skills on that side of the line. I genuinely believe that there are better talents available, and that the team needs to select a new, true left tackle in the draft. I don't think relying on these two players is a wise decision. Sure, they can compete for the position, and I love a good competition, but the left tackle spot is too important. It needs to be filled by someone who can truly protect the quarterback from the blind side, and that player should be selected with the fourth pick in the draft, assuming there are no other outstanding options available. The coach mentioned this as well, stating that the draft will offer some excellent choices. There are several players who have caught the team's attention, and while it's still early, I'm confident that the strategy will be solidified before the start of the season. Of course, this doesn't mean that the current plan is set in stone. There are still plenty of draft options to consider, and there are a few prospects who could potentially be excellent additions to the left side of the line. Although these players have never played at the professional level, they have been performing well at the combine, which has generated significant interest. It's clear that these two athletes have the potential to make an impact, even if they are still unproven at the highest level of competition. Next month brings exciting opportunities, and there is a strong belief that one of these players could be a valuable addition to the left side of the line. Both players, though not yet in the NFL, have shown promising signs during their workouts and combined performances. What stands out is that both come from a conference renowned for developing players who transition well into the professional ranks. Evaluators have noted that one of these prospects may have a slight edge over the other in terms of size, weight, and arm length, leading to some debate among analysts and scouts. When it comes to arm length, there's often skepticism when measurements fall between 32 and 33 inches, and I share that concern. Nevertheless, it's important to remember that no decision can be made lightly, and both of these prospects offer certain strengths that can benefit the team moving forward. Personally, I don't have a strong preference between the two. Both have their weaknesses, but they also have qualities that I value in a player, such as hard work and a relentless attitude that sees them through until the end of a game. It's clear that the coaching staff is looking for players with that mentality, especially when evaluating them for a significant role like left tackle. The debate over which of these two players would be the better fit for the team continues, and it is something the coaching staff is carefully considering. One of them certainly looks like a solid option, but the final decision will come down to the team's physical condition. With injuries having plagued the team in the previous year, getting the right combination of healthy players will be crucial to executing the ideal strategy. The team is already dealing with some injuries, but there is positive news regarding the health of two key players. One is recovering from an injury and making positive progress, while the other faced significant challenges last year due to a serious diagnosis. But he is on the mend and appears to be making strides in his recovery. It's clear that the team is focusing heavily on player health as they prepare for the upcoming season. As important as the offensive line is, the team is also making sure that key players are ready to perform at their best. One of these players recently acquired is expected to be ready for the season opener, which is a big deal. The contract he signed indicates a significant investment, and there are high hopes that he will help protect the quarterback from day one. However, it's important to note that while the timeline looks promising, the team is cautious and will not rush the recovery process. The coach made it clear that he prefers not to set a definitive schedule for players returning from injury, especially when their recovery is still ongoing. That's a smart approach, as injuries can vary greatly from player to player, and the last thing anyone wants is to push a player back too soon. There's still plenty of time left in the offseason, and we're only scratching the surface of what will happen over the next few months. The coach remains optimistic, and there's no reason not to believe that things are progressing as they should. While the situation with the injured players is still fluid, the fact that they're recovering well is promising. And with the draft just around the corner, the team has plenty of options to consider as they continue to shape the roster for the upcoming season. There are still questions to be answered, but there's a strong sense that the team is on the right track and that this offseason will set them up for success moving forward. The next few weeks will bring about some crucial decisions, and there's a sense of anticipation surrounding the team's upcoming draft picks. With a fourth overall selection in their arsenal, the team has a unique opportunity to acquire a player who can make an immediate impact. The front office is keenly aware of the need to make the right choice, especially with the left tackle position still up in the air. However, the draft isn't the only avenue for improvement. The team is also looking closely at free agency and the potential acquisitions that could add more depth to the roster. Despite some of the positive injury updates, the reality is that the team's overall health will play a major role in how successful they are next season. Injuries have been a recurring issue for several players, and the team is taking a cautious approach to their recovery. While it's encouraging to see some of these players making strides, there's still a long road ahead. A key factor in the team's success will be their ability to keep their players healthy throughout the season, particularly those who have been dealing with ongoing injuries. As much as the team is focusing on upgrading their roster through the draft, ensuring that key players are fully recovered and ready to contribute is just as important. One of the more intriguing storylines to follow in the coming weeks will be how the team handles the competition for the left tackle position. While Aaron Lowe and the returning players will certainly be in the mix, it's hard to ignore the fact that there are other, more promising prospects available through the draft. With several standout players likely to be available, the team will have to make a tough call on whether to stick with their internal options or invest in a rookie who can step in and start right away. The left tackle position has been a critical point of focus for the team's coaching staff, and it's easy to understand why. With a young quarterback who needs protection, the left tackle spot is one of the most important roles on the field. The team's success or failure in this position could directly impact the overall performance of the offense, so the stakes are high. While some may feel comfortable with the existing players who are competing for the job, the reality is that the team needs to make a long-term decision. This position is too important to be left up to chance. Looking ahead to the draft, there are a number of talented prospects who could fill the void at left tackle. These players may not have the same level of experience as the returning players, but they bring a level of potential that could prove to be invaluable in the long run. The key will be identifying the right player who can not only step in and start right away, but also grow and develop over time. The team has a history of developing players who initially struggled, but eventually turned into key contributors. If they can identify the right prospect, they may be able to secure their future left tackle for years to come. Of course, the team's needs extend beyond the left tackle position. There are other areas of the roster that could use improvement, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. The defensive line is one area where the team could look to add depth, and there are a number of talented prospects available in the draft. However, the focus will likely remain on the offensive line for the time being, as protecting the quarterback is paramount. One of the key players to keep an eye on as the offseason progresses is the defensive player who had been dealing with blood clots. This player's recovery has been a major point of concern for the team, but the latest reports indicate that he's on the mend and could be ready for the start of the season. His absence has been felt on the field, and his return would provide a significant boost to the defense. If he can return to form and stay healthy, he could be a game-changer for the team. The progress he's made in his recovery is encouraging, but it's still unclear whether he'll be able to participate in training camp and the preseason games. The situation surrounding this player is particularly noteworthy given the challenges he faced with his diagnosis. Blood clots are a serious medical condition, and the fact that he is recovering so well is a positive sign for his future. However, the team will have to take a cautious approach with his rehabilitation to ensure that he's not rushed back into action too soon. The last thing anyone wants is for this player to suffer a setback that could sideline him for another season. In addition to the health updates, the team is also looking at ways to strengthen their roster through free agency. While the draft is the primary focus, there are still a number of talented players available who could help the team right away. The front office is actively monitoring the situation and evaluating potential targets. Whether it's adding depth to the defensive line or bolstering the receiving core, the team is looking to make smart moves that will set them up for success. As the offseason moves forward, the team will continue to evaluate all options and make the best decisions possible. The coach has already made it clear that the team is focused on improving in every area, and that includes both the draft and free agency. The next few months will be crucial in determining the team's direction for the 2024 season. With the draft on the horizon and several key decisions still to be made, the front office will have a lot on their plate. But if they can make the right moves and ensure the health of their key players, the team could be primed for a successful campaign. Looking beyond the immediate future, the team also needs to consider its long-term goals. While securing a starting left tackle is essential, the broader vision for the team's success hinges on the development of younger players and the ability to build a sustainable, competitive roster. The draft will play a significant role in shaping the team's future, but it's important to remember that the work doesn't stop once the selections are made. The coaching staff will need to continue developing players, and the front office will need to continue making moves to ensure the team remains competitive for years to come. As the season approaches, there's a sense of optimism surrounding the team. The challenges they've faced in recent seasons are not forgotten, but there is a renewed focus on improvement and progress. The draft will be a key component in this process, and the team is positioning itself to make the most of its opportunities. Whether it's securing a new left tackle or adding depth to other areas of the roster, the next few months will be critical in determining the team's success in the upcoming season. With careful planning, smart decision-making, and a little bit of luck, the team could be well on its way to a bright future. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, The New England Patriots have reportedly set their sights on none other than Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs' legendary quarterback. Known for his cannon-like arm, audacious plays, and leadership on the field, Mahomes has become synonymous with success, having led the Chiefs to multiple Super Bowl victories and breaking numerous records in his relatively short career. The Patriots' interest in Mahomes raises the stakes in an already competitive AFC, leaving fans and analysts alike wondering, could this be the start of a new era in New England? Mahomes' career is nothing short of extraordinary. Since taking over as the Chiefs starter in 2018, he has rewritten the NFL record books, becoming the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in both college and the pros. With a dazzling combination of passing yards, touchdowns, and game-winning performances, Mahomes has earned accolades that place him among the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. His Super Bowl 54 win and subsequent MVP awards solidified his place as a future Hall of Famer, making him a tantalizing prospect for any team looking to build around a generational talent. The Patriots' pursuit of Mahomes is particularly intriguing given their recent struggles to reclaim their former dominance. After the departure of Tom Brady in 2020, New England has faced challenges in finding a true successor at quarterback. While Mac Jones showed promise, the franchise has been on the lookout for a game-changing player to lead them back to the Super Bowl. The idea of Mahomes in a Patriots uniform is a tantalizing one, with the prospect of pairing his unparalleled skill set with head coach Bill Belichick's defensive genius, creating a recipe for potential success that would dominate the league for years to come. However, making this trade a reality would be a monumental task. Mahomes is currently under contract with the Chiefs through 2031, and his deal, a staggering $503 million extension, is one of the largest in professional sports history. The Chiefs would be hard-pressed to part with their franchise cornerstone, especially given the unprecedented success they've enjoyed with Mahomes at the helm. New England's front office would need to offer something truly irresistible to convince Kansas City to let go of their star player, which could involve a combination of high-value draft picks and top-tier talent. The prospect of Patrick Mahomes donning a Patriot jersey is more than just a fantasy. It is a statement that the team is willing to do whatever it takes to return to championship glory. As the NFL offseason progresses, all eyes will be on New England and Kansas City, waiting to see if this bold move will come to fruition. Will the Patriots land their new quarterback, or will Mahomes continue to lead the Chiefs to new heights? The drama is just beginning, and the NFL world is on the edge of its seat. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.